Well, today on The Grand Angle, we'll talk about Africa's role in driving innovation in the world of science and technology. And with us in the studio now is Rudy Lenda Masamba, founder of the website of kumatu.com and writer of the book, Debunking Myths Around African Talent. Good morning, Rudy, and welcome to the program. You speak English, and it just appears that you are perfectly made for the morning call program.
Thank you for inviting me.
Okay.
But it seems that today I will be speaking in English.
Oh, excellent,
That's
excellent.
Great choice.
Great choice for us. Bonjour.
And welcome to the studio.
Yeah, go ahead. You can, I mean...
No, you go ahead.
Okay, thank you. So, please, could you give us a background of science and technology in Africa? Has Africa played any significant role in science and technology?
Thank you, Jerry. This is a vast question. But let us just remember that Africa is the cradle of humanity, and that Africans are the first people on Earth who actually started counting, measuring, and quantifying things. And the Limbombo bone, which is 35,000 years old, is the oldest instrument that was found in Tanzania, and it has 29 markings that actually show that it was used to track the lunar cycle. So this is to say that Africans for more than 35 years or 35 years ago were actually new geometry, astronomy, and this is our legacy to science and technology.
Alors, Rudy, d'après ce que vous venez de nous expliquer,
Rudy, from what you have said, it means there's a lot that is unknown as regards for Africa's role in science and technology. It would appear as though Africa is just at the receiving end to receive and make use of technologies. So, is this true?
Est-elle finalement qu'une utilisatrice, qu'une consommatrice de l'innovation du reste du monde?
No. We have to propagate the news that Africans do manufacture in Africa science and technology related equipment such as cars, 3D printers, aircraft, rockets, and much more. The problem, unfortunately, is that African inventors are not backed up financially. And this is the reason why they barely make it to the, the mass production stage. Yeah.
You say this is the reason why they barely make it to the mass production stage. Well, from your book, Debunking Myths Around African Talent, this is your book here, here with us. You say that Africa has talent, and that you also talk about its mineral resources being used for software development and other manufacturing purposes. Could you tell us more about this?
First of all, Africa is abundantly gifted with natural resources like tantalum, platinum, tungsten, nickel, gold, etc. And they have applications in several technological fields. What we need to understand is that technology firms cannot manufacture phones or tablets without minerals. And this is the reason why we have in Africa to I would say transform our natural resources locally, because in Africa and in the diaspora, we have talents who know how to do it. And all that they want is that we start trusting their genius.
Alors pour terminer, Rudy, comment l'Afrique peut-elle être...
Finally, how best can Africa be at the forefront of not just manufacturing now, but in science and technology, and in driving change and innovation across various fields in this age of rapid technological advancements?
Et la concurrence est très rude à travers le monde.
That's a very good question. I think that competitive education is competitive education in science and technology related fields is one of the first things that we should do in Africa. But in the meantime, I think it's important to gather African talents who have already developed and manufactured outstanding inventions and innovations in modern research and development centers. With proper funding, it will then be possible to mass produce their inventions, but in assembly lines manufactured by Africans and in Africa, so as to limit the importation of capital goods.
Merci beaucoup, Rudy, pour tous ces éclairages, pour
Thank you
vos informations, parce qu'on a
the information that you've given us.
Alors, je rappelle le
and
nom de votre
highlighting
livre,
us
Debunking
about the
Myths
book,
Around
Debunking
African
Myths
Talent, donc le livre de Rudy Lenda
around
Massamba.
Africa Talent.
Merci beaucoup.
It was my pleasure. Thank you for inviting me.
It was short, but then I know the conversation could go on and on and on and on. But then it was nice having you on the program. You know.
Thank you again for inviting me.
All right, thank you for sharing. To some business and sports now, beginning with business. Have we some gleam of hope for Nigeria's economy? The Bureau of Statistics announced Monday a 1.4% growth in gross domestic product year-on-year at the end of the third quarter of 2017. We hear more on this in just a moment. And after that, we take some sports where there is a winner at the 2017 Rwandan Tour. We find out more.